I see orange chalk.
Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
And Ralph behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And Ralph, today we are making a peach cobbler.
The orange chalk gave it away.
Did it?
And it's getting to be that time of year, that time of the season when we like to turn the oven on.
Yes, and we like warm desserts, which cobbler is, of course, best served warm. And this is a real easy recipe. It's been around forever, and it's the one that I like to make. So let's tell our friends what I've got. I use 2 bags of frozen peaches, okay? So these are each 16 ounces or a pound.
Okay.
So I put 2 bags in a pot. And these are frozen, okay? So they haven't been thawed out yet. If you use a canned peach, you know, canned peaches come in like a syrup.
Right.
Well, you need that syrup. And of course, frozen peaches don't have the syrup. So we got to make a syrup.
What if you were using, you know, fresh peaches right off the tree?
You'd still want to cook them a little bit in a syrup.
Okay.
Okay? But I like the texture of the frozen peach as opposed to the canned peach,
right,
which are really soft.
They're kind of slimy almost.
So I'm going to put in about a half a cup of water, and I'm going to put in about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a spoon here and stir this around.
Oh yeah, I can see how they're frozen. But these are just a few easy steps in making this, right?
Yeah. You're going to want to cook these for about 10 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes. You want them unfrozen, and you want that syrup to sort of thicken up a little bit.
Which is created by the sugar in the water.
Yes. And sort of you want the syrup to kind of start glazing the peaches. But, okay, so we've got that. We're going to let those start cooking. Then we've got a very simple topping. The bread, you know,
the cobbler part.
The cobbler part. Thank you. And it is real easy to remember. It's 1 cup of self-rising flour.
But it has to be self-rising.
It doesn't have to be. If you are using regular all-purpose flour, you'd want to put in a pinch of salt and maybe a half a teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda. Okay? If you use a self-rising flour, it's all that stuff is mixed in.
Okay, so back to the simple instructions here.
1 cup self-rising flour. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of milk. Don't use non-dairy milk, like an oat milk, a soy milk. Use milk, and use whole milk if you can. 2% if you have to, but nothing lower fat than that. Okay? I'm just coming back over here, keeping an eye on the peaches. They're starting to bubble up here in the syrup, which is just what we want.
Well, don't peaches have a natural sugar?
They do. They're sweet.
Just not enough?
But you need a little bit more sweetness. You know, cobblers generally, peach cobblers are not known to be unsweet.
Right.
It should be sweet.
But it should be a balance of not overly sweet
right,
or not unsweet. Okay.
And often, and I would be my recommendation is, you know, you serve it with, of course it's great just how it is, or you serve it with maybe some vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the sweetness kind of gets cut by the ice cream.
Right.
Okay, a cup of self-rising flour, a cup of sugar, and a cup of milk.
Whole milk, preferably.
Preferably. We put all that in there, and we're going to make our batter. This will be on the thin side, okay? It's not a thick batter, but we're going to kind of just stir that around. We don't want any lumps.
I'm stirring the peaches. If anybody saw my hand sneak in, it's because I heard them.
Heard them bubbling?
I can hear them sizzling and bubbling and doing their thing.
Okay, Ralph, let's show our friends the batter here. See how thin it is?
So all the self-rising flour dissolved pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to put that aside. Now, let me show our friends this. I'm using a 9 by 13 baking dish. And what I did is I put a stick of butter in the baking dish, and I put the baking dish in the oven, which, by the way, is preheating it's already preheated to 350 degrees.
So how hot was it when you put the butter stick in there?
Well, it wasn't quite up to temperature, but it was hot enough to start melting the butter. And so, rather than melt the butter in the microwave or whatever, the oven's heated up anyways. Use the heat in the oven to melt the butter. And you're going to just melt a stick of butter here in the bottom of your 9 by 13. That will also help in terms of kind of putting a non-stick kind of a layer on the bottom.
Our food friends may be interested to know, in case they missed the stove exchange episode, that we have a new stove here in the Cavalcade.
We sure do, Ralph, and thank you for pointing that out. This is the 1954 General Electric Liberator. Isn't she a beaut?
She is a beaut.
And double oven. And 2 8-inch burners, 2 6-inch burners, an automatic burner. Yeah, it's got features galore, a timer, and so far so good.
Colored lights.
Yeah, nice stove.
If you want the full story, you can go back to a previous episode where we did the stove exchange, and Kevin went into detail about that particular stove.
And we managed to move it ourselves. It was not a light stove.
No, I'm still in traction.
I'm going to let this cook just another maybe 4 or 5 minutes, Ralph, and we're going to come back and we're going to put together our wonderful homemade peach cobbler. I think our peaches are good to go. So, again, the oven's at 350 degrees. We have our 2 bags of frozen peaches cooked here. Yeah, we've made a nice syrup for it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, Ralph, is we're just going to pour this right over the butter.
Wow.
And we don't want to leave a peach behind, do we? Leave no peach behind is our motto.
That's our motto.
Okay. And we're going to kind of
so
even that out.
So that butter is going to flavor it, but it's also to keep it from sticking.
Yes. Okay. Now we've got our batter here.
And you just kind of make sure it's supposed to be kind of thin.
It's very thin. And what I'm going to do is we're going to pour the batter just over the top here.
As evenly as you can to make sure you're getting the whole surface of the
Now you're going to say, oh my God, it's sinking down to the bottom.
Oh my God, it's sinking down to the bottom.
It is. You would be correct. But the batter shall rise again. Okay? Because that's just how it works.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Also because it's self-rising flour.
Yeah. So we're going to get all that batter out of here and into our pan. Now we're going to bake this again 350 degrees for about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Or until the top crust is nice and golden brown.
Kevin, this looks so easy. I think even I could make it. And I'm going to.
You could, and you should.
I love peach cobbler.
Let's just say it like that, okay?
I bet you could make this with other fruit, too.
You could make it with berries. You know what I mean?
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Blueberry cobbler.
Yeah, you could make it with apples. You could make an apple cobbler. I mean, yeah, you could do it, and you could do it with fresh fruit or frozen fruit. But again, you want to cook the fruit first, get it on the soft side, and create a little syrup, because that's the good sticky stuff that holds all the fruit together.
Got it.
Okay, we'll come back when it's ready to come out of the oven.
Smells good in
Does
here.
it? Okay, so we're gonna. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What's the matter?
It has
Bubbled over?
not bubbled over, but
Risen?
it has risen.
So
Look at that.
it looks great. Did you put a pan under it?
No, that's okay.
Oh wow!
It will go down as it cools. You can see how bubbly
Oh, I love
hot
it.
it is.
Yes. How long does it take? Well, I guess it would take a while to cool all that.
And yeah, so it will sink as it cools and as the kind of the syrup thickens up. Now, of course, this is best served warm
With ice cream.
with ice cream
Preferably vanilla.
or whipped cream. But what we'll do is we will let it cool down enough. It's just too hot to handle right now. But we'll let it cool down enough. Can you see how it's already going down?
I think so.
See how it's sort. I don't know if our food friends can see. It's slowly deflating.
Very subtle, but yeah, it is starting to sink
but
already.
we will do that. And you could make this ahead, and you can always pop it into a warm, 250 degree oven for 10 or 15 minutes and warm it up. Say if you made it early in the day and you wanted to serve it warm for dessert,
Right.
you could certainly do that.
So how long was it in the oven this time?
About 35 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to let it cool down and firm up, and then we will come back and we will give our homemade Southern style peach cobbler a taste.
A man and his cobbler. Looks like you're really contemplating that.
I really am. I got to tell you, it's a thing of beauty.
I agree.
Don't you?
That's
All
a
right.
delicious looking cobbler. I hope our friends can see as I move in close. The peaches, the browning, the
Yeah.
syrup.
Syrup. So it has cooled for probably about 35 plus minutes.
Oh, really?
It's warm.
And that's how you want it.
That's how you want it, especially if you're serving it with ice cream. Now, Ralph, don't be disappointed because I don't have any ice cream here at the studio. But
I'll live.
we're going to put...
Wow, doesn't that look perfect? Almost reminds me of, another thing I really love is apple dumplings and the way the dumplings get real mushy.
So, there. You have your crust. Of course, now the peaches are just, look, you can just cut them with a fork. They're in that beautiful syrup. Oh, that's good.
Are those peaches dancing in your mouth?
Yeah, really good. Oh.
Should we leave you two alone?
It's really a nice cobbler. Very much what you would expect.
Well, I can't wait to try it, but
Well, here's a spoon for you.
I know, but it's kind of hard. Yeah, I better wait till I'm off.
Off cam, you sure?
Yeah, because
Like people get upset when
really?
you don't taste, because
Well, you hold
I want them to know that I'm not
depriving me.
you of anything. What, you want me to get a shot of this? Hold on.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Just try a small bite.
Am I on?
Right? Yeah, you're
Oh.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. It's delicious.
It is delicious.
It's not too sweet, and it's not too anything. It's just right. How do I
You
get
just
back
turn
to
it around.
Oh, there you
Got
are.
it? Okay. Yeah, it's just, And if you can think of it with some soft melting ice cream over the top.
Yes, perfect.
Right, perfect, perfect.
You know,
absolutely perfect.
even some heavy cream. You know, just something.
Heavy cream would be great. Yeah.
Because, you know, people eat peaches and cream, so
Yep.
yeah, came out really good. So
it
couldn't have been easier. So I call it.
Could not have been easier.
I call it the simple Southern peach cobbler.
That's a good name for it. And it again, I think frozen peaches work good here as opposed to canned. You could certainly use canned peaches if you like,
and fresh, of course.
Of course. But anyways, let's say thank you to our food friends. Remind you the recipe is below the video.
Thank you, food friends. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Make your comments. We love to hear from you.
Leave your comments. Subscribe if you're so inclined. Would love to have you, and you'll, if you hit the bell, you'll get the notifications every time a new video goes up. And what else can we tell you? The website is cavalcadeoffood.com.
And if you spread the word and join us next time, everything will be peachy keen.
This was one peach of a cobbler, wasn't it?
It sure was.
All right, everybody, stay well, and we'll see you next time right here on Cavalcade of Food.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time.